Life. So no, I haven't seen anything come through. It doesn't say that you're sitting in the lobby or. So if I go here to invite people, so let me say invite people. It says here invite people. Okay, but now I'm calling you on, but that's not his. That's his personal email address. Am I phoning on your phone? Just kill it there. Is that? But that's your personal email, right? Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Because I mean, I was calling you on your personal email address, right? Not on your work one. Huh?
Well, if you're going to forward it, you can find somebody else. Use the email address you used last week.
Yeah, you did. But I think I emailed you, and all it did is it just emailed you the link. Because all it does is, yeah, so like I can't like, all it does is it just says, allows me to copy the meeting link and then either that or invite you by mail. But then when I do the invite by mail, all it does is just paste the link in the email.
Yeah. That's pretty much the link you sent me on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Yeah. But how come I'm not, I don't know why it doesn't come up. Normally it gives you a pop-up box to say that you're that someone's waiting in the lobby. Or if you go to people, then normally it would give you a list there of people that are sitting in the lobby. And you're not there. Yeah. Well, you are. Well, at least you think you are. But you're not really. Well.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're in one place but not the other. Okay, so how do we do this? I tell you what. Let me create a whole new meeting completely. Right. Let me go to Teams.
Same issue.
Yeah, well, last week all of a sudden I got a pop-up to say that you were waiting in the lobby and then I could accept you in, but it's not happening this time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a new meeting. Meet now. Okay, start the meeting right away. Okay. Why is it not okay? Meeting with Andrew Marsh. I'll say join now. Okay, and then I'm gonna send you a new meeting link. Alex deciding to take the opportunity to take some photos. Damn good photos, dude. Damn good photos. Okay, well, I must concentrate on me getting this this pop-up to say that Lester's trying to get into the... What, are you going to try the old... But no, remember, I'm on a different meeting now. Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. I sent it to you in WhatsApp. Just making sure it's not autofocusing. Huh. Huh? No, nothing.
Yeah, there's a hole.
Yeah, that's obviously where. Okay, wait. Here you are. View lobby. Admit Lester from external. There you go. Now you're in.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I've missed my opportunity to make my coffee.
Well, you can go make your coffee quickly because I'm just busy setting
It's
up.
actually,
Yeah, so
it's
you can go
made.
get your coffee
It's
quickly.
close.
But you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, go get your coffee.
Countdown starting now.
Off he goes. Ding, ding, ding. Speedy Gonzalez. Right. So now eventually we've got...
Hello.
Oleg is in the house. Well, actually in the studio. Just don't tell anyone.
I'm not in the house.
You're not in the house.
I'm in the cottage.
Are you in the cottage?
I'm in the cottage again.
Okay. Don't you want to do me... Okay, you settled in there. Don't worry. Just
I've
don't...
settled in. I've aligned myself.
Right.
Lester? Well done. Well done. That was sub 30 second.
I know. It's
I
always
think,
been my
I think when it comes to making coffee, you're much faster than Usain Bolt.
Well, to be fair, he's never beaten me at 100 meters, and he's never beaten me at making coffee. So, you know, it's not unfounded.
No, it's not. It's not.
Right.
Oh,
Next
Okay,
time.
boys.
How's everyone?
So you can see us, Lester? You can
yes.
see us. We can
Oleg
see
is
you.
slightly. Oleg's volume is slightly lower.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, boost me.
Oh, that's
Boost me.
good. Okay.
Boost me to 120%. I'm joking, don't.
That's fine.
Try it now.
Yeah, 200 is fine.
200%. Ooh.
Is that better, Lester?
Yeah.
Can you hear him much better?
Talk,
Yeah.
Oleg.
Should I
Yes.
mention a specific secret service in United Kingdom?
No, it's not. We've had enough IT issues this morning.
How's British Telecom doing? Okay, let's talk about typical stuff. How's British Telecom doing?
I was looking for something positive to go on about.
Okay, but less on a serious note, are you on BT?
No.
You're not on BT.
The best broadband in my area is Virgin by far.
Okay.
Are you
There's
ready
nothing
to
else
rumble?
after that.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. Before we get into all the details of the episode, let's at least do a bit of an intro.
Yeah,
What
let's
do you
do it.
reckon?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, go on then. If you
Oh,
must.
go on then. Yeah. So, episode number 27.
Jeez.
Doesn't that make us halfway to
Halfway to
doing it
Christmas?
for a year? Yeah. No, we're halfway to doing it a year.
I think we passed
Almost.
the halfway mark.
One more. How many days? How many weeks? No, 52. Yeah.
That's
We're a long
26
time
is
ago.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're missing all these milestones. We always think about them after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, typical, hey? Typical of a couple of chops, eh? Trying to do their best
Oh,
at
that's
doing some live stream. That just,
Choptastic. Choptastic.
Anyway. Well, okay, now that we've got the technology working, and I can click this button so everyone can see us.
Let's transition.
Transition.
Let's
Otherwise,
transition.
everyone's going to be looking at the flippin' thumbnail for the for half an hour before I realize, oh, hang on a second. I've got the sound right. I've got my internet working.
Yeah.
I've got Lester dialed in.
I have a feeling that this is going to be a smooth one.
and then I forget to click the button that actually allows people to see what we look like.
Awesome.
Right, so how was the week, guys? She's like, where do we start? Well, both you and I
Has
were
that a
on...
day off?
Well, yeah, Lester, Oleg and I were on leave on Monday. But if you remember
You
last
still work.
week, he said he was going to work. I said I was
Yeah.
going to work. I was the dodgy oak that didn't. Or was I? If I...
No
like,
way.
who got it right? Took leave and worked, or took leave, said he was going to work and didn't work? Who violated
Who
the
felt
rules?
better? Who felt better for themselves
Like what?
for taking whatever?
I really wanted not to work, but I didn't have a
A
choice.
Yeah.
I had a deadline to meet on Tuesday morning, so like I
You
had to meet
felt
that
better
deadline.
about actually doing this,
No,
rather than
not
wake
really.
up Tuesday and be
I didn't feel better at all, but it's just like it had to be done.
Yeah. No, I felt crap on Monday because I didn't do anything productive.
That's awesome. You didn't
Well, I
have to.
suppose
not even
so,
a
but
day of Netflix.
sorry. What does
Not
that
even a
mean?
day of Netflix.
No. I was actually, funny enough, I was actually editing a picture that I want to use to make a T-shirt. It's a
awesome.
picture of a FJ40 Land Cruiser. It looks pretty cool. I'm pumping that out. See if I can get it DTG'd onto a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you say your week was? Let's put you on the spot. Like
Okay, mom, block your ears. It was fucking shit.
What
It's like
Well,
it scraped a 5.
number though?
It scraped a 5.
no way, dude.
Oh,
No way.
Absolutely, dude. It was just one of those weeks. But all in all, it turned out better. It now ended. It ended on a more positive note. It's the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more shootouts in the hood.
There was another one, huh?
You joking?
Earlier this week, there was a attempted hijacking, a little further up the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this, like under COVID, like, everyone's been affected by it, and you've got people that, some people have lost their jobs or got their salaries cut or shortened working time and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the reality is that the criminals were also out of work as well.
Yeah.
right?
Everyone was out of work.
Yeah. So like everyone else that's coming out of COVID now that we're going through the levels, they also, not that I'm making excuses for them or justifying what they do, but all of a sudden they've also got to ramp it up a bit. So I think that's why all of a sudden we're seeing the crime is starting to creep up again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's trying to meet their Christmas bonus. Even the guys that, wield AK-47s and stuff on the street.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
everyone's
just going
got
to...
targets.
Everyone's got targets, KPIs.
Yeah. Well, don't joke, eh? I suppose those hijackers do have
I
a
could just
boss.
imagine some crime syndicate with performance reviews, quarterly performance reviews.
Yeah. You haven't made your performance target.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no bonus this year,
Yeah. Anyway, Lester, how was your week, dude?
Your side.
How was your week? Okay,
Yeah, I'll
while
go
you
with a
guys are
5.
chatting, I'm just going to make sure that the sound's working correctly.
Okay, cool. Lester, so what's happening?
I'll give it a 5. I haven't
What's
seen the
happening with
sun
you
for
guys?
days.
What's happening with you guys?
We are
They're under
locking
lockdown.
down the country one city at a time.
Yeah.
But also, we got, if you think everyone's trying to have taken holidays this year, and we've now got to the end of the holiday season.
Yeah.
We're firmly in August. And so there's a few countries you could still go to, right? That we had this corridor set up. So, you could go to Portugal, and then overnight you couldn't go to Portugal. So people are constantly, and I got one of my guys works for me. This was his situation. He was getting close to his booked holiday to Portugal, and the last minute it was starting to look like they're going to lock them down. So he switched his holiday last minute to go to Turkey for a week, and he was happy because Turkey was all approved. As of 4 o'clock this morning, and he flies back today. As of 4 o'clock this morning, if you are coming into the UK from Turkey, you have to go into quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so this is happening all over the place. People are getting caught out, trying to maneuver their holiday just to get at least a week's break.
Yeah.
And they're just getting nailed because it's
Like-
just short notice change of rules.
Lester, from the countries that you can travel to, at the moment, like which European countries you can travel to? I thought
Do you know I don't know anymore.
Like, could you go hypothetically to, Iceland?
No, okay. Let's from a can I actually go there? Yes, I can go to anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The problem is when you get there, you're either going to go into quarantine, or when you come back, you go into quarantine.
Yeah. I mean, it's pointless, having a 1 week holiday if you have to spend the week of it in
2 weeks
quarantine.
in quarantine before you can come back.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is the right way to do it. You go to sunny destination, go, oh, hell, I have to stay for 2 weeks in quarantine. Sorry, guys, I can't come back.
Yeah. But like, what about traveling internally? What about, for example, say, instead of going for a holiday in Portugal, I know it's not quite the same, going for a holiday in Scotland? I think Leicester's frozen. Leicester?
Well,
Leicester, are you there? Leicester, come in.
that's par for the course. Oh, my word.
Uh,
Oh, well.
Leicester, you there?
So there must be quite.
I think
I was
the
actually thinking
connection
about this the other day.
Dropped when I mentioned Scotland.
Yeah. So I was actually thinking about this the other day when we were talking about, like you're talking about now, various countries in Europe locking down and all that. They're busy doing Formula One at the moment.
Yeah.
And they are moving around, like they're going from Italy to Germany to whatever. I was thinking, with what Lester was saying, I wonder how that's affecting them, that all of a sudden that they're coming and going in terms of who can move from which country to where,
I think with Formula One, Bernie Eccleston, is he still the main guy?
No, he's not the main guy.
He
They've
got
actually
shafted.
sold to another company now.
Okay.
There's a guy by the name of Chase, can't remember his surname.
Yeah.
Chase, who's the CEO of that.
So Bernie's out of the game.
Yeah, Bernie's out of the game, dude.
Shame.
But it's fine. The act made his money.
Yeah. You know who Bernie reminds me of?
Who?
You know that gangster from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, Bricktop?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's... I need to watch that movie again.
Yeah, you have to watch that movie
Yeah.
again. So
I started watching Django Unchained last night. Have you seen Django
it's
Unchained?
brilliant.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Brilliant.
I said to my kids, let's just watch the first 5 minutes
Yeah.
of it and see how it goes. And they were like, no, Dad, we can't do this anymore. Because how Tarantino is. He gets
Excessive.
a little violent.
So, like, on that note, right? I'm just gonna pitch my week. I think my week started like also at the 5 because of the whole work. I drafted the entire Monday.
Yeah.
And it improved. So I think I'm sitting on solid 7.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, you're lucky fish.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wish I was there.
Had an awesome. I was doing a stream for South African Geophysical Association yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was hosting one of the guys talking about nuclear magnetic resonance tools and techniques and how you can use it for groundwater exploration. It was a really cool talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so obviously Leicester has dropped off, and as you can see, this is the lovely thing about how things.
Scotland got him.
Scotland, yeah,
Scotland got
Scotland
him.
Yard came knocking at the door.
So on the movie side, I watched Tenet.
Tenet, okay.
Last week.
And you said you went to go watch that at Hyde Park. Eh?
Hyde Park, yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually awesome.
Was it?
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna kill this. We're still here.
Did you kill us?
No, I just killed the
feed.
No, not the feed. The teams meeting. You can see
Okay.
there. It's let me see if I'm minimize. There you go. That's much better.
Yeah.
But did you hear the humming, the white noise that was coming from Teams?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's quite freaky because as I turned it off, he said, "Oh, something happened."
Yeah.
Yeah, because you lost all the white noise. Anyway, tell us about the movie.
Tenet was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah. Really, like, I think I need to watch it again because it's a pretty hardcore sci-fi movie masquerading itself as an action film with some romantic undertones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's who's a director, the same guy that directed Dark Knight and Inception.
Oh, right.
The guy's name?
Christopher
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan,
Yeah, the guy's brilliant. I mean, he's got a vision. I mean, from the time the movie starts to basically the movie ends, it's just action and things happening, and you're trying to piece things together. And I think with Inception, he tackled the whole aspect of dreams. With Tenet, he deals with the whole time travel and temporal aspect, and he pitches a really interesting ideas.
No, it's cool, man. I think I need to go see it because a lot of people have said to me that it's worth going to watch.
Look, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I think a lot of people hated it. I think you need to watch it. Like, he's an artist, You need to watch that movie a few times to get a grasp of, both the story and sort of the timeline of the movie, because it's not linear.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But
if
I mean,
you
is
ever
it
watched
like
Memento?
Which one?
Memento.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Watch it. It's also it's one of the first. It's not the first, but it's one of the first Christopher Nolan films. It's really good.
Yeah. So I wonder. I haven't heard anything from Lester in terms. He hasn't dropped me a message on WhatsApp. So I'm assuming he has had a problem. No shit, Sherlock. Anyway, I'm just going to drop him a WhatsApp. Anyway, so I had a couple of things I wanted to chat about today.
Okay, let's chat about them.
While we're waiting for Lester to pull in again.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't want that. I want...
if the Scotland Yard doesn't get him.
Yeah. I mean, look, the other thing you could do is you could just call us on WhatsApp and then we can chat and we just don't have his video on. That's another option. Right, where was I? Weekend Craic, dude. Oh, well. So, Joe Rogan.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're not going to tackle that.
No, well, no. Like, I know. I just want to talk about the whole Spotify thing, and because there's been some chatter in the last week or two about censorship of his stuff. Is that because sometimes he has controversial people on the show.
Yeah.
And the other day he said something about the fires in California or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he made a mistake, or he got it wrong.
Okay.
So what he did is I think on the next episode or something like that, he apologized and said, shit, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, there's this fine line between a podcast and, say, like, for instance, a journalist or something like that. It's like a journalist, they're almost like they have to abide by a certain code of conduct. Okay. So, in other words, when they report something, they have to have fact-checked it. I know some tabloids and all that don't do that. But
I think most of the mainstream news video outlets, they don't really thoroughly fact check their information these days. Even if you look at the reputable sources, reputable news outlets like Guardian and CNN and Sky and Reuters, sometimes garbage sneaks in, masquerading itself as a pretty plausible story.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, like, now he's gone over to Spotify with this big deal, this big deal and all that kind of stuff. And so now all of a sudden, some of his episodes or some of the things that he's talking about, some of the Spotify employees, the woke Spotify employees, are saying that he needs to, that they need to either remove those episodes because not all of the episodes are being brought across to Spotify.
Okay.
Right. So there's some episodes that I haven't come across. And the reason is because they were conversations with controversial people. And
like controversial how?
They might be right-wing.
Okay.
Neo-Nazi kind of people. I'm not saying that they were neo-Nazi, but let's say they, like super conservative, right-wing, whatever it might be.
What's wrong with having conversation?
No, there's nothing, and I think that's the point. So I think that's the that's the beauty of of podcasts, is that you can talk about these things. It's like tweeting something on Twitter. I mean, there's freedom of speech and
Yeah, but look,
all that stuff.
I've been watching Joel for like I think the last 2 years. He's
Yeah.
a pretty reasonable guy. You know, he's not gonna let you get away with using his platform and his time to promote BS ideas or push out propaganda. He's gonna call you out on the BS.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not the type of guy that would just take it and play into a drum. And I think he had a lot of different people. I mean, he had guys, from the US perspective, he had guys from the right, he had guys from the left, he had guys from the center, talking about different things, and he was debating stuff.
Yeah.
He wasn't like just taking what they say as true.
Exactly.
He was calling people out.
Yeah. Well, I think I think if you're the right kind of person, they can have those people on your show, and then you have the ability to have a conversation with them where you're challenging them without it becoming combative or acrimonious in any way. I think that's great because then people get to hear both sides of the story as long as you balancing it out with having conversations with people on the left. Yeah. But I'm just saying that people are complaining now that Joe Rogan's gone to Spotify. That now all of a sudden there's this like sort of censorship that's starting to
people will always
complain.
Happen. That's one thing that's one thing that's never ever going to disappear. Regardless which content you're pushing out, people are always going to complain.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you just have to focus on what you love doing and just keep on doing it.
Yeah. So what I'm liking, Spotify is changing. I mean, we spoke about this last time, is that Spotify historically was, for streaming music and all that. And then they went on to the podcasts.
Yeah.
And now they've pulled in Joe Rogan. And at the same time, they launched their video podcast. So I don't know, have you tried Spotify watching Joe Rogan?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, it works.
I can see that most of his stuff is still available on YouTube.
Yes.
So I'm busy watching it on YouTube.
Yeah. And then I see now recently they've released stories on Spotify. So Metallica's just released their S&M, which is their San Francisco orchestra in collaboration with Metallica.
That was an awesome concert.
Yeah. So they've just released all of that stuff, like the vinyls and all that stuff, and obviously you can get it on Spotify. And I saw now what they did is they each of the band members from Metallica then created a series of stories about how it came about, what was great about it, which were the good songs that they enjoyed playing, and all that kind of stuff. And those stories are on Spotify. But I mean, it's like I just found it by chance. It wasn't like I saw an announcement that came out that now you can see stories on Spotify and all that kind of stuff. So I wonder how, because like with the Joe Rogan thing, I knew that they were going to do video, but when I first went there, it wasn't playing the video. Right?
What was it doing? Just audio?
No, I was just doing the audio. So I thought, they haven't activated the video yet, or it's not available in South Africa or whatever. But so after I'd fiddled with the app a bit and reinstalled it, then all of a sudden it started working. So yeah.
And how does the video feed?
Yeah, it works
does
well.
It feel like in the same way.
It's not like YouTube.
It's not like YouTube.
No, it's different to YouTube.
Okay.
But anyway, it works. I must just try and see how I can get my podcast up as a video
On Spotify.
on Spotify. Yeah.
that would
So
be
like
awesome.
I mean, the Bearded Fen podcast is available on Spotify. And I do that through my podcast hosting platform where it pushes it to Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, if you go to Spotify, you look for the Bearded Fen podcast, you'll find it there. But now I must just work out how I could maybe upload the video there as well, because I'm uploading the video on YouTube. Yeah, so we'll see.
So, by the way, like on your side, what's your take on Joe Rogan's Spotify censorship thing going on?
I think it's moving into an area where now all of a sudden that the place that you're hosting, they are now becoming the police. They're going to be policing the content that's on there. I mean, what's next? Are they going to start not hosting music that have got, I don't know, some borderline lyrics in it or whatever. Because I mean, you listen to some of these rappers or some of this hip hop or house music or whatever, and you listen to the lyrics, you're like, my daughters are listening to this, and I'm going, oh my God,
Having a
listen
heart
to what
attack,
yeah, exactly. Just listen to how this guy's talking, I mean, if anything, my only like sort of thing that I would go is like say, that's undermining women or whatever, whatever you want to call it, just because of the way that.
You're so funny, man.
No, well, it's just when you got daughters and they're just what's the right word when like almost like misogyny, or is that
Almost
the right
almost like that's like an extreme case.
yeah. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, what next? Is Spotify then going to be? Because like my view is, listen, if you don't like the content, then don't listen to it. Turn it off. Listen to something else.
I think Joe's got a following, and I think the reason why Joe's got a following is that because he's actually a pretty skillful interviewer, and he can ask difficult questions without, like you said, appearing combative or appearing confrontational.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is really cool, and it's I like the whole video aspect because setting the scene and setting the it almost feels like when you're watching it, you're there with them in the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I really do enjoy his format, the way that he does it.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing I do battle with, and it's not a complaint, but it's just in terms of how life is. I mean, to dedicate.
How life is.
No, well, it's just to dedicate 3 hours or 2 hours just sitting and watching the Joe Rogan show, the Joe Rogan experience, watching the video. Like, you need 2 hours where you need to sit and, sure, you can be playing it while you're doing something else. That's fine.
I generally play it while I'm doing something else.
You do?
Yeah.
But I mean, to enjoy the experience, like, you want to be watching the video or not?
Well,
or are you like
I'm
tinkering in the garden while you're listening?
No. Like, I would be like doing something, for example, say cooking, right? And I would have it on the TV, and there's like when I hear there's something interesting happening, like I would check what's going on, and then I would go back to doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Generally, it would result in me burning my food that I'm cooking.
Well, there's the danger. Well, as long as you don't burn down the house, that's fine.
No. I've been pretty good with that. So
yeah. So that is a good aspect. But I mean, the thing is, like, you're not going to be cooking for 3 hours.
No.
Yeah.
I couldn't be eating for 3 hours. Pretty good at that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. So like, I do enjoy that, but I do find it because I almost feel like sometimes I need to carve out the time to sit and listen or watch the podcast, and then I don't get that time, so then I don't even start listening. No, I don't even like listen to half of it because I didn't want to start it because I didn't think I would be able to finish it, kind of thing. So I don't know. I mean, like, what are your thoughts in terms of podcast and the length of podcast? I mean, do you think that from a podcast point of view, you always need to say, okay, I'm going to make it an hour, and you edit it down to an hour, even though it might have been an hour and a half conversation? Or do you just let it run, and if it's an hour, it's an hour. If it's 2 hours, it's 2 hours?
I think, for example, like with Joy, his episodes are extra long because in order to have a meaningful engagement and discussion, you can like possibly fit it into 5 minutes. And the format of the show is, and the studio layout and everything, it's like the guests or the people that he interviews feel comfortable in that environment, and they feel good about engaging in that environment.
Yeah.
And you need the time to properly unpack certain things. You can't like unpack certain, and he talks about like some deep issues.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can't unpack it in like 15 minutes. I know our concentration span is like, most likely slightly longer than, what's his name?
A goldfish.
Goldfish. So, but we need to try to push ourselves to, I mean, we can watch a 2-hour video quite easily. We watch movies.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Some of us binge watch TV shows for 6
Yeah.
hours at a time.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference between binge watching a series and clapping. Okay. He says he should be in the lobby. Sorry, this is just Lester coming back in again. Hello, Lester, coming back in. I'm just going to do the good old...
You're going to join.
Well, I'm just going to see.
I think you need to copy the meeting link again.
Well, do you think... No, I think it used the same... Do you think it used the same meeting link? Anyway, I'm just going to say... so go out and back in again.
Quickly.
Please.
Quickly.
Yeah. Don't take your time. But I mean, just in general, besides Joe's podcast, I mean, just podcasts in general, what do you think? Do you think, that it should be like half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour? Do you think it should be, once you've decided how long it should be, it's always that amount of time so that your listener knows, okay, it's going to be an hour? Or do you just let it be as long as it happens to be? Like with my podcast, sometimes the conversation is an hour, sometimes it's 45 minutes, sometimes it's an hour and 12 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'm not worried about editing it down to an hour as an example.
Oh, you don't need to.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The conversation needs to be as long as it needs to be.
Yeah, sure.
As long as you get on to unpack and discuss the issues that you want to discuss, that's how long it's going to take,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's like an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So just going back to this issue that we're having with Leicester, is Teams is being as problematic as Skype. I wonder what the common denominator is. Microsoft.
I don't know.
Maybe we have to go over to Zoom.
I think we need to go over to Zoom.
Oh, the problem is that
Microsoft gets a lot of flack. I mean,
yeah, no, we love to hate them,
but
we still use their shit.
Seriously, everyone uses their stuff.
Even though we bitch and moan.
I mean, like, I'm wondering what's going to happen to Skype.
Well, I think Skype. I don't know. Hey, I mean, like it's owned. It's owned by Microsoft. So why would you want to have two products in your?
Are they competing in the same space, or are they competing in different spaces?
Well, I mean, you had business. You had Skype for Business. Okay. That's definitely going to be replaced by Teams. That's gone already. But I mean, the fact that they're saying that Teams, you can use it now privately as well, like for personal use.
But limited functionality.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like no NDI.
No NDI. You also don't have the same collaboration tools built into the free version. Yeah. I think like the way the Teams feels now, and maybe they're gonna take it in a different direction, is that Teams feels like an enterprise solution. It doesn't feel like a solution for regular user.
Yeah, sure.
What differentiates?
Oh, wait, hang on a second.
I'm hanging on.
Wait. There was a moment. No, I thought, what's this?
Can I let go now?
Meeting is in progress. I thought that he was coming in, but he's not.
Okay, let's just give him a sec.
We'll give him a sec. Yeah.
So like Skype's got that functionality that you can actually call phones, which is really cool. I think a lot of people are actually using that. I use that. I struggle to get my parents online, so I generally end up calling them and saying, "Guys, I'm online. Please come online."
Yeah.
We need to chat.
Yeah. So like my folks and I, we use WhatsApp video.
Okay.
Yeah, that works very well.
Yeah.
Especially now that my dad's got fiber.
Okay. Which
it just makes it.
Did you go for?
Well, he's got. I think he's got 10.
200.
No, he's got. I think he's got 10 megs.
Streamer.
No, he's got 10 megs. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's
and
awesome.
10 megs and 2 up or something like that. Yeah, which is sufficient.
Awesome. But that's awesome. I mean,
yeah, sufficient for WhatsApp calling.
I'm wondering, do your parents have a Netflix or?
Yeah, they got Netflix.
They got Netflix.
Yeah, they got Netflix.
Oh, That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
I mean,
my
talking-
parents on Netflix, but I don't think that service is available in Ukraine.
You're gonna have to set up a proxy server for them.
You need the VPN.
A VPN, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God for VPNs. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Talking about Netflix, we're talking about, you watched that octopus documentary.
Yeah, I
So-
liked it.
I watched it during the week with my daughter. Like, because I mean, she's into the marine life kind of thing. She's boss about sharks. You know what boss means?
No.
Afrikaans word. Hey, we're talking about jargon and slang,
Yeah.
South African slang. So I'm probably gonna get the wrong meaning for boss, but boss is like you like really excited about it, like you really into it.
Okay, cool. That's
Okay,
awesome.
let's see here. South African slang, boss. But a boss is
I thought
a
it's
bush.
tree or something.
It's a bush, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
tree. It's a bush. But what does boss mean? Let's see here. Have they got it? Boss. No, they don't have it.
No.
Wow, check that out.
Are you inventing stuff? Do you
Yeah,
wanna-
maybe I was just about. Like, have I got that right? Did I invent that?
Well, look, if you haven't invented, you can edit Wikipedia.
Yeah, I can edit it,
Yeah.
and then I can put whatever definition I want there.
No,
Well, I
I'm
can
trying
put
to be
my
factual.
definition. No. I mean, I can put my definition.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Boss. Yeah. So anyway, she's really into like marine life, especially great white sharks.
That's really cool.
And she didn't seem so like excited to watch the octopus documentary.
Why?
I don't know. She just, you know,
Is it,
like
boring?
why am I- yeah, well,
I
possibly.
don't- I think it wouldn't be interesting for a teenager because it's actually pretty deep story about like one dude's journey, you know?
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, and I mean, I was suitably impressed.
I
But-
think it was well made. I think the cinematography is amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing the way it was shot.
Oh wait, yes, is this Lester now?
That's Lester.
He's in the call,
Is he?
but I can't hear anything. And this is on his private one.
Okay.
Hello, Lester. Come in, Lester. Hello, boss. Bok inkomen.
Testing.
Yeah. Anyway, so so it was very,
You know what
very
I think
well
happened?
made.
I
Yeah.
think he had something important to say, and MI6 got him.
It's knocking at the door.
It's like guys knocking at his door.
Yeah, so I think that guy was a very good storyteller. I mean, obviously he's a cinematographer or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. And yeah, he told the story. And I mean, geez, what on a... I mean, you know, like when you watch something, either a good movie or something, and like days afterwards, you're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's still like, not to give it away to anyone that hasn't seen it, but I mean, there are moments in that thing that like it's like these things stick in your brain about this octopus and the things that it does and how it learns
Its
to catch
environments.
its environment and how to catch stuff, and
I
then
thought it was amazing. I learned a lot of things that I never knew about.
exactly.
Like
I think Lester's
back. Shady's
back. Look who's back. Back in. Hey, Lester. Yo, it's gonna be one of those Saturdays.
It's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough.
I think we at the end of the episode we need to give the episode a rating out of 10. I think we're currently scraping the barrel at a 3.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 2. Dude, I think you're better swapping back to Skype. No,
Yeah,
you see,
he's froze.
he's frozen.
It's frozen.
Frozen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go stand next to your neighbor's Wi-Fi, dude. Or why don't you go up to your buddy just up the road there? That's he's got the same
some clarity,
service provider.
Just some clarity.
What clarity?
Your neighbor's Wi-Fi, not your neighbor's wife.
God forbid
Careful you don't
it
break
got
up
cut
there.
off there. Wife. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh, my word.
Lester, there's a difference. Your neighbor's Wi-Fi and your neighbor's wife are two totally different concepts.
Yeah, but you did say just stand next to her, not do anything.
Yeah. But that could be weird as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't move. I'm standing here. Don't move.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like I'm
Right.
sure it's like those politicians that say, I didn't sleep with a prostitute. We just lay next to one another. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm now on my cell phone, so the reception's going to be worse. I don't
Well-
understand.
But why? Well, why would the reception be worse? Was that what's the deal they did?
I don't know. It just is.
I don't know.
I mean, we can carry on like this. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Your picture has improved as we've been talking. No, seriously, no jokes. No jokes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is,
so
it
we
is
were-
definitely better.
So we were just talking about that my octopus teacher documentary on Netflix that was filmed in South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
I think Oleg mentioned it last weekend, was it?
Yeah.
Or maybe, last weekend. So I was just saying that I eventually got to watch it during the weekend. I was actually suitably impressed at how well it was made, and the story was just amazing. Like I was saying to Oleg that, sometimes you get those movies or, whatever you watch, and like for days afterwards, you're like remembering bits and pieces of that movie or that, like in this case, the documentary. I'm like, like for days after, I'm like amazed. I had this image in my head of this octopus doing its thing, in the kelp forest. I mean, it's amazing. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah. No, I saw the trailer. It does look good.
Yeah, dude.
It's my kind of thing from
I think it took the guy
a
10
diving
years.
perspective.
10 years to film that.
Really?
Yeah, it took the guy 10 years to actually, well, not to film it, but to film it, edit it, and
Put it
basically
together.
Put it together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's.
Well, it takes a long time for him to build up their relationship with the octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Every octopus I've ever come across has just scooted away.
yeah. Always been. I was going to say something wrong, but anyway.
Don't.
If there's one thing, I think the next time octopus is on the menu, I think I'm going to reconsider.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want
No
to give too much.
calamari for us. No.
Well, calamari is slightly different.
Fish
that's
and chips,
squid.
guys. Fish and chips.
I think,
Is it now? Is it different?
yeah, that's my
But,
story.
by the way, Lester, is fish and chips still like a staple like
Food,
food?
staple meal.
It's
in UK.
still a common dish. Yes, absolutely it is. Yeah. And mushy peas, which I never got the point of.
What was that?
Yeah.
Mushy peas.
Mushy.
Peas.
It just
Oh, no, man.
sounds bad, huh?
And I like my
Yeah,
peas
what's
to
wrong
be
with
al
normal
dente.
peas?
Huh?
What's wrong with normal peas? You have to go and, mess it up.
But I mean, they taste different to normal peas, don't they? Mushy peas.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I
don't
don't
get
want
it.
a pea smoothie, thank you.
By the way, like just on the fish and chips note, I think like the best fish and chips I've ever tasted globally was in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Was
Where
it?
did you go in Cape Town?
I don't remember the name of this place, but it's like on the harbor side.
Oh, in Cork Bay?
What,
or-
V&A?
Cork Bay.
Yeah.
So I'll think of it now. My mom would be going, "Oh, you should know this. It's like Snookies or something like that."
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's good, dude. But it's still not the best. I'll tell you.
it's really good. It's really good, like for a cheap,
Yeah.
for a cheap meal in terms of what you get with it. It's
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is
I think I
that
paid like $60. I didn't have
Yeah?
to eat for the rest of the day.
yeah. But like I said, that's good.
Yeah.
But it's still not the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny now.
You are being funny now.
No. Further down the road, in Fishhook, there's a place called Fishhook Fisheries,
Yeah.
and that is the best fish and chips in Cape Town.
Okay.
in my opinion. And I've had fish at Cork Bay Harbour, but Fisheries is the place. Next time you go down there, you go try it, and then you give me your
You decide.
opinion.
Okay.
Go have it at both places, and then you tell me what you think. Yeah, and it's also very good value for money. Like when I go down to Cape Town or go visit my folks in Fisher, like if I haven't had fish and chips by the time I've left there, you know, it's not. I didn't do what I was supposed to do while I was there.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, it's like, you know, the trip wasn't complete unless I've had fish and chips there.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fish and chips fan.
I'm a huge fish.
I
and chips
never,
fan. I was like,
I never eat fish while I'm up here in Joburg, as an
all?
example.
At all?
No.
what's wrong with you, man?
Ugh, maybe I'll have the occasional ocean basket kind of thing,
Yeah.
but
I have fish at least.
It's
like
not-
Twice,
it's not
twice a
like-
week.
yeah, no. Like for me, it's like unless you can have it fresh, it's not going to happen.
I
You
think
know what I mean?
I think something happened to like Els
Leicester. Yeah, no, Leicester's
in and out.
in and out. Yeah,
In and
in and out.
The MI6 got him.
Yeah. So so we digressed from so anyway, I wanted to say something about the documentary, and now I can't remember what it is.
It's old age, man.
I know it was like I didn't want to give it away, but there was something that I wanted to say
Was
about
it something meaningful?
Yeah, well, one thing that I learned about an octopus, I didn't realize the octopus only lives for a year.
Yeah, I also didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also
Yeah.
didn't know that like like if any of its tentacles get cut off, it actually grows back.
Yeah, I had a suspicion, but I wasn't 100% sure. So when Becky and I were watching it and that thing happened, I was like, I'm sure it's going to grow
so
back.
bleak when it happened.
Yeah, I
was
know.
like,
I know. Anyway, so during the week it was International Podcast Day, and as a podcaster, I'm very, very sad to say that I didn't even realize it. But when I started seeing the posts on Instagram, all the podcasters posting about International Podcast Day, I was like, oh shit, okay, hi.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
When was it? Like Monday, Tuesday?
I think it was Wednesday.
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 Okay.
But I mean, with the week that I've had now, it was like
It's like more of an afterthought.
yeah, more than an afterthought. Yeah. So that's the best looking owl I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's crisp. It's got some definition.
It's got some definition. So, can you remember a show called The Thunderbirds?
No, never watched it.
Let's see.
I don't know that I even
remember.
heard about it.
No, it's never.
No.
You didn't get this in Ukraine when you were growing
No,
up.
no.
Like this.
It's just scary, man.
There were these it was like almost like that stop motion kind of thing.
Yeah.
They were almost like puppets. Check that. It looks like a ventriloquist puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was just Leicester's gone again. There was I think it was one of the international days this week was something to do with the Thunderbirds. This is days of the year. I think it was one of the days that it was Thunderbirds. Oh, Techies Day today.
Yes.
Let's see here. Wednesday.
Have you had an issue with your computer lately?
So Wednesday.
That's the comment.
So Wednesday was International Podcast Day, but I see it was also Ask a Stupid Question Day as well.
Oh, that's an awesome day.
So there, on the same day was Thunderbirds Day on Wednesday. So that's what made me think about I can remember growing up and watching this, and this stuff used to scare the living shit out of me.
You serious?
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was like, it's like when you watch a Chucky movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same feeling.
Jackie was actually quite scary.
Yeah, Chucky was weird, dude.
It's quite scary and weird.
Yeah. So today's Boyfriend's Day. No, not going to celebrate that one.
Come on, man.
Hispanic Heritage Month.
Virus Appreciation Day. I think it's very
I mean,
topical.
I think they should have canned this one, hey, for this year. There should have been an announcement and said this year we will not be celebrating Virus Appreciation Day.
There's a lot of viruses out there. Like, some of them are not that bad.
Can you name one?
Viruses are part of human existence and have invaded every possible area
Of our
of human
lives.
life.
To the silicon pathways of the,
Yeah.
of the World Wide Web. So I wonder what sort of virus they're talking about. Electronic virus or what virus in nature?
I think bacteria or virus. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so-
it's actually like biological stuff.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't think they're talking about the
Ha-
computer
okay.
virus.
Okay, let's talk about how do you celebrate Virus Appreciation Day?
You celebrate it, but not by not getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Did
Yeah.
you get the pun?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so you can research them both good and bad. I mean, is there a good virus out there?
I think that
What-
viruses.
What? Because I mean, like, you know, we talk about bacteria. You say there's good bacteria. You know,
And
you
bad
need to
bacteria,
have
yeah.
a good
Bacteria in your gut.
in your gut. So, like,
Yeah.
you're eating yogurt and you know
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So let's see if we can Google what what would be a good virus. The good that viruses do, I don't know about that. Not all viruses are bad for you. Here are some that can have a protective effect. Viruses are mostly known for their aggressive and infectious nature. Let's just see. Protective. That infect and destroy specific bacteria. Oh, wow, check that. They're found in the mucous membrane lining in the digestive, respiratory, and reproductive tracts. Okay, so, yeah.
There's some beneficial viral infections.
Yeah, I'm scanning it. I'm trying to see what they are.
It's getting deep.
Yeah, no, this is too technical for me, man. Yeah, I think this is fake news.
No.
No, well, because I mean, I bet you if I Google what are deadly viruses, okay, they'll have them. This virus, that virus, that
Yeah,
virus.
they will have
Here,
them
I come here and
listed.
say, I've got to read a 3-page essay, and I still don't see them one virus name here. Do you see a virus name here?
Yeah.
Where? This
Piggy virus.
Piggy virus.
C.
C. GBV. Grievous bodily violence. Okay, what does that one do? Does it, I've lost it now. Okay, doesn't it cause clinical symptoms? Multiple studies. Oh, it's an odd time for someone to be calling me. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, multiple studies have shown, okay, live longer, comparison to, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well,
there
I
are
learned
good
something
viruses.
new. I learned
There's
something
good
new today.
viruses.
I always thought that viruses were bad.
Not all of them are bad.
Not all of them are bad.
Just because of one or two viruses. Oh, Lester's back.
Well, sort
Look
of.
who's back.
Did
Back
you go,
in black.
Did you go stand next to the neighbor's wife?
I've told her not to move. She keeps wriggling, man. That's why I've lost my video. And also had to turn the video off to protect the innocent. And there's no evidence that I've done anything, you know.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know
that's,
why the video's not working more. This is brilliant.
So what actually happened there? Does it just you coming through loud and clear now?
Yeah, and the video is good. The video.
The video's good.
is
Yeah,
good.
no. Look, the connection's fine. I think
Yeah.
we do have an issue with Teams, but I have noticed my upload keeps fluctuating.
Okay.
I think that's perhaps the trouble. Download's fine.
So have you
Okay,
logged a
fine,
call yet
but
with
it's-
your service provider?
Virgin.
No,
Did
I
you
gave
give
up.
Sir
After
Richard a
3
call?
hours on hold, I gave up. Yeah.
You kidding me?
3
Yeah,
hours on
I'm gonna-
hold. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I know. I don't think my mental well-being is any better for it.
But did they play like a 30-second music clip on like repeats
On
in the
repeat.
background? That would drive me crazy.
No, at least they had 2 songs. I think what is worse is that they have the automated message that keeps coming back and says, "Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line."
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
So, Lester, you
I don't
actually
think
spent
so.
3 hours on the phone holding. I think that's a
Yeah, okay,
testament
maybe it was an
to your-
exaggeration. It was probably about an hour, but I've
Still-
done that a few times.
Still, I think my attention span would last only 5-10
Yeah.
minutes, and that's it. I'll be like,
Yeah, but you put it on speakerphone, you just let it lie on the side, and you just block it out after a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you call it from your cell phone?
No, from my
From-
landline.
Okay.
It's all with the same provider, so
Yeah, yeah.
I don't pay for
No, I
it.
was just going to say, because, I mean, in this day and age, I don't see the need for, like, a phone in my office at
Yeah.
work. I'm like, I don't need the phone, because, like, no one really phones me.
yeah,
Take the handset away. If people want me, they can call me on Teams, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And any other call coming from outside, well, you know, they're going to phone me on my cell phone anyway. But I mean, that is the one advantage of a telephone handset, is the fact is that when you're phoning some service provider, that's going to put you on hold or put you online for an hour with the speakerphone. I think that's the only benefit of having a
Yeah.
handset. Yeah, I think that's the only thing. Okay,
but that's horrible. Like, they made Lester wait for like an hour.
Yeah.
With my ISP, I basically log a call via email. Even if I don't have internet, I can basically drop them an email from my cell phone. And
Yeah.
they basically respond within like 15 minutes. They either tell you what the issue is and tell you that like what they're doing about fixing that issue. Let's
Yeah.
say it's an outage affecting like few areas. And yeah, it's like you don't even end up calling. I don't even remember the last time I called my service provider.
Which
For either
internet.
fiber internet, or I host several websites
Yeah.
on a hosting platform. Whenever I have any issues, I basically just email them.
Yeah.
And they would respond definitely within an hour. I'd
Okay.
get a response.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm glad I don't have to deal with Telkom anymore,
Yeah, yeah.
because I literally had to phone them almost every day
Oh, that's
to sort out
insanity.
my
That's
ADSL.
insanity.
Yeah.
I think fiber changed the whole game. I
Yeah,
think it killed
jeez, dude.
DSL in South Africa. Like,
Yeah. I mean, besides this morning,
yeah,
I've never had to complain about my internet connection ever.
yeah.
And the reason this morning was my daughter decided to restart the router.
Yeah, she should have done it like a few minutes later just to put you under the
Oh,
pressure.
yes, as you were, and like on the back
She
of
knew what
this
she was
week,
doing.
Like,
No,
just
but-
do it 1 minute to 10.
but on the back of this week,
I'll tell her next week, 1 minute to 10. Just
but next week it won't
keep
matter.
that cable just a little bit.
No, next week it won't matter because hopefully by the end of next week I would have had a good week, like a 7 out of 10.
Oh,
So-
aim for an 8.
Yeah, no, aim for an 8. But the thing is that like if she had done it like 1 minute past 10 today,
Yeah.
I think all the tension from the whole week would have like rushed to the front, and I would have to like fucking hold it back. Okay, my dear, that's fine. Don't worry, but just please don't restart the router after 10. Meanwhile, inside it's like Venom. You know, have you watched the movie Venom?
Yeah, I did.
So,
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I must. I think I said a couple of weeks ago that I'm like over all these Marvel and DC
Yeah.
and all these superhero movies. But that's one movie that I've really enjoyed, is Venom.
You know what I've been enjoying like lately? I don't know if you heard about a TV show called The Boys on Amazon Prime. It's like an anti-superhero movie. We have a group of vigilante type dudes, basically trying to hunt down superheroes that's gone wrong. And
Oh, really?
yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. So I mean, are you subscribing to Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
So I was subscribed to Amazon Prime, but I don't know. There's not There's not much on there to watch. Eh?
There's quite a few shows.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not good. They're very. Let me rephrase it. There are very few good shows.
Yeah.
In my opinion, well, I don't know what's good on Amazon Prime.
Top Gear.
I tend to agree.
Well, it's not Top Gear. It's called Grand Tour.
Grand Tour. Sorry.
Yeah, but they've stopped, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
But you can still get
I thought they had
content.
another
Yeah.
series ready to go.
Yeah, I think because of the whole COVID thing, they had to
Scale
stop.
back.
Yeah, they had to
Yeah.
stop.
Well, we are going to hit that point, right? Because things aren't getting made anymore.
Yeah.
Programs and films aren't getting made. So at some point, we're going to run out. I've already noticed on Netflix even, it is rerunning a lot of old classics,
Yeah.
which is good because I've never made it to episode 3 in Breaking Bad.
Oh, you haven't watched
Breaking Bad. Oh my god.
Oh, Lester,
No,
you
no,
got
let
so
me tell you
much.
the story. So,
You got so much stuff
everyone
to
raves
catch up
about
on.
it.
Yes.
Everyone raves about it, right? Okay, fine. So I keep giving it a go. But for whatever reason, I fall asleep in the first episode. And
What of the
nobody
first
understands
season?
why.
Of the first
The
season.
very first episode ever, right? So, so I've attempted to watch the first episode and get into Breaking Bad 4 or 5 times, and every time I fall asleep, there's something in there that just switches my lights on.
But I
don't understand. But hang on,
Don't worry.
this week,
Okay.
this week, I made it through episode 1 for the first time in my life. I feel
Well
like
done.
I've progressed,
You fought the temptation.
and fell
Well-
asleep in episode 2.
Well, no, the thing is, I mean, you say that. The exact same thing happened to me. My cousin who lives in Canada had told us that that Breaking Bad. I mean, it wasn't even like I hadn't even heard of it yet. It was like bubbling under the surface, yeah, and because like I hadn't heard anyone talk about it. And my cousin said, no, you've got to watch this. So I try and watch it. And like I think I watched the first episode at least 2 or 3 times, and I just like Lester says, I just fucking couldn't get through it. I was like falling asleep, that kind of shit, right? Like season 2 of True Detective, and then I never got past episode 4.
You serious?
Yeah, but anyway, once I got through, and Lester, I'm warning you, only once you've got through season 1, will it change? Will it take off again?
There's a lot of episodes.
Listen,
mean-
dude, I watched all 5 seasons in 2 weeks.
You binge watched it.
I binge watched it.
Yeah.
Like I was doing like 4 episodes a night kind of thing. And it's like an emotional roller coaster, that series. Because like 1 minute
Yeah.
you team Jesse or whatever his name is, and then the next time you team Flippin' Heisenberg or whatever his name is.
Heisenberg.
Yeah, Mr. White.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was such a
Okay.
good series. Have you watched the El Camino movie?
No.
Which
no.
is like the movie that
The
carries
after.
on from the end of the
Yep.
thing.
Is it good?
I haven't watched it yet.
So did you watch Calling Saul? What was it?
Oh, Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call
yeah.
Saul.
I tried.
I've probably
again.
watched more episodes of that than Breaking Bad.
I don't know. I couldn't get into that. I couldn't get it going. Super weird.
Well, anyway, I'll give you guys updates. 'Cause, yeah, there's
Please do.
not to watch anymore. Got to get into these things.
Yeah. That was such a good series, though. Oh my word! Just thinking about it now.
Absolutely.
I wonder if it's worth watching it again. I mean, do you rewatch series?
No.
Not.
No.
I
I would
don't-
rewatch a movie. Like, I love Guy Ritchie stuff. So
Yeah.
I rewatch his stuff occasionally.
Yeah, I think I've watched like Rock and Roller like 10 times. I don't know why that movie just does it for me.
Rock and Roll is awesome. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is great. Snatch is just
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Boris the Blade. Boris the Bullet Dodger.
Yes.
You know, there's another one coming, right?
I know there
Would-
was one last year.
What, The Gentleman? What?
Gentleman,
yeah.
yeah. The Gentleman.
Is that the one
Okay,
you're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? I think we spoke about it
with
a couple
Matthew
of weeks ago.
McConaughey in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I haven't
brilliant.
watched
That's
it
brilliant.
yet. Is it good?
It's the same genre.
Yeah.
It's
No, I wonder.
different, though. It's same but different.
Yeah.
You
No,
gotta
don't
watch
give it away. Yeah, don't give it away.
You gotta watch it. Hugh Grant is in it.
Okay. I think he's I like his movies because he's just funny. He comes across all goofy.
A dizzy English gentleman
Yeah,
stereotype.
exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Where did you watch it, or can't you say?
Um,
It wasn't on a streaming service, was it?
Technically, it was.
It's all in the semantics.
Technically, it's all just streaming, right?
It's just data packets.
Okay.
But can I be honest with you? Like, for example's sake, when Tenet comes out on the DVD, I'll most likely buy it.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's good.
I'd want to support the director because, like, I think he's done an amazing job with that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like in terms of talking series, I mean, what kind of genre series do you like? I mean, do you like the sort of like Suits, lawyer kind of stuff, or not?
No. I like True Detective type of series, so like crime stuff.
Yeah.
Homeland.
Yeah,
Would you
Homeland is
classify
good.
that
I enjoyed
genre?
Homeland, yeah.
I liked Homeland, except for that blonde woman. She annoyed me.
Carrie Madison.
But she's in
Carrie's cool.
every
Carrie's cool.
season, dude.
Every
It's
bloody
cool, like-
episode. I was hoping along the way she could kill
You-
off.
you-
But no.
you gotta
But she
have
went mad
flawed
for a while.
characters.
And I was like, this is it.
You gotta
they
have
let it
flawed
carry on?
characters. It's like
And you have you watched Billions?
no, not yet.
Because like the dude that he was in Homeland, obviously
yeah,
in the
yeah.
beginning, but like that first season of Homeland was kind of amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah.
And then they lost their way a bit,
yeah.
and then they killed him off, and then carried on with.
Yeah.
So I respect a series, a series that can do that. In other words, start off well,
Then kill
and
their
then
main actor.
and then lose their way a little bit.
Yeah.
But then be able to pull it back and then be successful. Because I mean, how many seasons were there of Homeland? 7 or 8? Eight, I think.
8.
8, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite character, like in Homeland, is definitely
Saul.
Saul Berenson. I think that guy is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Saul is like
Yeah.
Saul is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, yeah. So I think Homeland's cool. So I like these lawyer kind of things. So like Suits and that kind of thing. There was a series called The Good Wife. I've watched that.
Desperate Housewives.
No, not Desperate Housewives.
You're a huge
And there's
Desperate
another one.
Housewives. I know you are, dude. Just be honest.
What, Desperate Housewives?
Desperate Housewives.
Uh,
You watched Desperate Housewives.
No, I've never. Well, I've watched some of it, but I never. No, but I mean, it wasn't like I was watching it because I enjoyed it. You know, I just watched it because I was watching it with other people.
How many
You know what I
episodes
mean?
of Desperate Housewives did you watch?
Okay, probably all of them. But I was just there.
Okay, Lester, I'm going now. Bye bye.
Oh my goodness, this is going downhill fast.
I was just there. I just happened to.
Have you
consume-
guys?
I was in the
So,
same room.
so there's a big craze here at the moment around Married at First Sight, but the Australia edition. Do you guys get into that? Do you
What,
get
like the
sucked
reality
into
TV
that?
shows, like The Bachelor
yeah.
and all that.
No.
No. So basically, two people meet each other for the first time when they're at the altar. And it's a whole series leading up to that point, and then thereafter, and what happens.
Do you see a lot
I mean,
of
like,
fast
you-
runners? Do you see a lot of fast runners there?
No, I don't watch the program.
So why did you bring it up?
But no, okay, so clearly you don't. But that's certainly a trend that's it's spreading like wildfire. Not the UK edition, which has been going for years, but the Australian one. For some reason, everyone's getting into that. I don't know. I was just asking. It's
Yeah,
a bit
I think-
like it's a bit car crash Tilly.
Yeah, so
I don't watch that type of stuff.
so like I mean, with my
Like-
daughters, I've watched The Bachelor and Paradise Island and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, I know.
that's right.
I mean,
man.
it's like, but you know what? I mean, you
Like,
got to take those
if you ever want
opportunities.
to talk about it, you know, and how it made you feel emotionally, like I'm here for you. Man.
Like, I'm always curious about how they film those series, in terms of you know, like how much of it is orchestrated.
all of it.
And like Survivor, like a show like Survivor, how much do you think of it is orchestrated?
You don't need to orchestrate anything. I mean, people are generally fairly devious, you know. So
No, but what I'm saying is in
gonna
terms
put
of...
a cameraman on this guy and just make sure he
Yeah.
follows on 24/7.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think that that's the way it's working.
Well,
But I mean, is that the way it's working?
well, it's crudely, it's not this like it's not the same way. You have to have a plan with any TV show, you know. It has to be
fair
scripted.
enough.
Because-
Yeah, but I understand, like,
Yeah.
like when you look at Survivor, if you look at the credits, they had a whole team of psychologists
Yeah.
that were involved. That, you know, Survivor, it wasn't the same formula every time.
No,
like
no.
mid-season or like in the season, they would swap things up. They'd swap teams.
Yeah.
They would take different characters from different teams and put them into other
Yeah.
teams. And they did that for the effect, you know, to create that sort of like, what's the right word? Friction, that kind of thing. I understand that. But what I'm saying is just in terms of when they're filming it, how do they plan it? Like you say, I mean, you've got to plan the show that you're getting the
Oh dear.
Lester, go stand next to the neighbor's wife.
it's like scratching his back. And it's like
We hear everything.
it's
Lester,
ASMR.
It's like you have a microphone on your back, and as you're scratching it, we hear.
Scratching my back. Right.
No, it's your microphone on your what's it, his headset.
Yeah.
So it was like a
you
whole
think I'm scratching my
ASMR.
back. I'm glad the video is not on.
Oh, it is on.
Oh, it is on. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can stop that now, dear. Stand still. Oh dear.
So, I mean, talking about trends and all that, there's this trend with ASMR. You know about ASMR?
No.
It's like, just like what he's done now when he was scratching his back, and you get this like effect on the microphone.
Yeah.
That there's this whole thing of, you know, like people like eating crisps and it like crunches like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a trend of this kind of stuff happening on like the like YouTube channels that you can go and all they do is there's no video, it's just ASMR.
Wow, I never knew. Why?
Yeah,
though?
I don't know, because some people find it soothing, or you know, it's like listening to, I don't know, like you know, like when you're meditating and you hear this,
Yeah.
you know, you've
Like
got this particular music in the background, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was an ASMR moment there.
I think he froze.
That's right.
I think take a
Time
screenshot.
to take a screenshot.
I think that's a cool screenshot. I was still gonna do a Lester compilation.
Yeah.
And put it on
Maybe
the
for episode 100.
No, we should do it. We should print it out and just put it on the wall, like all the different freezes of Lester. Thanks to Virgin.
Yeah.
Virgin, if you're listening, please fix Lester's connection.
No, yeah. Virgin, if you listening, thank you very much for the content. There's nothing. I mean, I think that's a very, very good shot.
It's a very good photo. It's
A
almost
very,
like
very
he's
good
posing.
photo. He's
It's almost
posing,
like
yeah.
He's posing, yeah.
Yeah. Lester the model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, I don't know. Do we just like wait for him to come back? Because I mean, we're an hour and 20 minutes into this.
Let's see what.
I don't know. Are there any people listening anymore? They've probably fallen asleep. This is
Yeah.
like the first episode of Breaking Bad.
It's gonna get better.
yeah. Hang in here.
What's
Hang
on
in
the
there.
Evernote?
No, I think I've done everything that I wanted to chat about.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing else. Oh, but this one, check this one out.
What's happening there?
This is about Julian Assange.
Declassified UK. Key Assange prosecution witnesses a part of academic cluster which has received millions of pounds from the UK and the US militaries.
Okay, so what he's doing is he's claiming he's suffering from depression, and that he's suicidal. This is Assange, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he then obviously doesn't, he's trying to not be extradited to the US. So they then brought in this witness, okay, from the prosecution side to assess him. And then they came back and said, no, he's okay to travel. He's only suffering from mild depression and he's not suicidal. And that it is okay to extradite him to the US. But now what it's turned out is that this prosecution witness is working for an institution that is funded by the UK and US militaries. So now they're saying it's controversial because...
Can I be honest with you, right? It's a cluster thing
Fuck.
of epic proportions because, I mean, it's hard to find good people to do the job right, you know? Like,
What do you mean, ones that haven't been paid off?
No, like, for example's sake, it's like you can see there's a crunch in global specialists, you know, whether regarding what you're doing, whether regarding global prosecutors. I mean, it's almost like the prosecution team is consists of like some random guys that just, you know, slap, you know, a plan together. We're going to get a dude, we're going to get him to testify, and it doesn't matter, you know. There's no checks or credibility, or it's just scary, man. It's just scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
So,
would
I mean,
think UK would get it right, you know, like
Yeah.
in terms of having a clean prosecution and a clean system. It looks like the whole justice system is a joke.
yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's very difficult. And I suppose money talks, unfortunately.
Yeah, money talks.
Money
But
talks, yeah.
The problem is the credibility. Like, if you jeopardize the credibility of the justice system, you're gonna have issues in your society.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like the first world countries like America and the UK, you would like other countries should be looking to them to find what the best way of dealing with these things is or are.
Yeah,
But it's not the case.
that's not the case. That's not the case.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the U.S. justice system is pretty robust in terms of. I think the checks and balances are there, regardless. Like, obviously, if the U.S. state, if the state decides to, you know, go after you, they can make your life pain, and eventually, most likely, you can prove your innocence, right? But yeah. You're working against the machine.
Oh, Lester's back. Look who's back. And now he's got a different headset on. Okay. Now I'm looking at the L again.
UK, I'm disappointed, especially with the whole Julian.
And did you hear the squeaky
Yeah.
squeaky chair?
Yeah.
Did you send him the squeaky chair?
No, I didn't. Not yet. But I will. He needs to start.
He got his own.
the ASMR compilations.
ASMR, yeah.
But they should have
I'm
handled that case
intrigued. No, yeah, you guys were supposed to bring the squeaky chair, right?
Yeah. No, it looks like you brought it.
You brought the squeaky chair.
Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, okay. I think we're flogging the dead horse now. But anyway, sorry, you were saying something about the justice system.
Yeah, it's like you can't make mistakes like this, right?
Yeah.
You can't bring a obviously biased witness on board, and then his history is like open to everyone. You can see that, you know, you can prove the case that he's a biased witness by just connecting the dots, regardless whether he is or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The issue is that, you know, if you are part of the prosecution team and you need to put together a case together, your case needs to be 120% watertight.
Yeah,
120%.
absolutely.
There's no mistakes because, I mean, think about it this way. Assange's team most likely is 10, 20 different lawyers from all over the world, like trying to nitpick the state's case apart.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not talking about like whether it's a just case or not a just case. I'm talking about the semantics.
Or the
semantics
the
of
procedural
just
aspect of it.
procedural aspects of the justice
Yeah.
system.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
See,
like-
that's why you must watch Suits, because then you'll get the right terminology.
You know what was fun for me? You know what was fun for me? The Oscar Pistorius case.
Yeah.
Like, I watched it,
Oh my God.
religiously. I watched it religiously.
I watched every minute of it.
Because, you know, like, I was doing my...
So did he do it or not?
I was doing my competency in that.
Yeah.
Part of your, like, competency is you need to go through, like, Firearms Act and
Yeah.
all the different cases and what constitutes legal use, what constitutes illegal use, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And as I was going through all the cases, because our instructor compiled all the legal cases in the file, says like go through them because the final test is gonna have questions from these cases.
Yeah.
So I read every single case, and you're like, just reading those cases, I could tell you it's like our prosecution team's got a third degree in their pocket. It's like straight away. I think it was a stretch to prove intent, and I think they didn't. They rightfully did well. Rightfully or not rightfully, they could not prove intent, and that was the reason why it was got given.
Yeah, dude, I don't know about that, Shit, I mean, like, you think about it.
You got to prove intent beyond reasonable doubt. So, like, it's difficult to prove intent beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I
Hello?
suppose so. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm thinking back to that case, and I was just thinking about.
You watched it as well.
I did, and I'm just thinking about, like, I mean, I was having this conversation with Brian the other day, and after the shootout that we had here in the neighborhood, and I was thinking like, okay, I know something's gone down, right? I know I suspect that the guys potentially could be jumping over the walls into different people's yards.
Yeah.
I'm here in my office, outside the house and whatever, and if I was to walk out and there was this guy in my yard, okay, and knowing my place, to get in here, you've climbed over the palisade fence. To get into this section here, you've climbed over another palisade fence.
Yeah.
Okay, not to mention the electric fence and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're in my yard, okay, and if I was to pull out my gun and shoot the guy,
Well, it depends. If the guy is unarmed,
what was the intent?
if the guy is unarmed, it's a third degree. You know, if the guy is armed, right, regardless whether he raises his firearm or not, as long as
Okay, when you say third degree what?
third degree murder.
So it's like manslaughter.
Yeah.
Manslaughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Manslaughter is an American thing.
No, well, but they call it manslaughter in South Africa as well, don't they?
Do they? No,
Yeah, or they may. Maybe I'm
it's
wrong.
Third
Yeah?
degree, dude.
Yeah, third degree. Okay, let's call it third degree. And then what is classified as self-defense?
What would classify as self-defense is
Yeah.
that if he has a firearm or a knife, even the knife is sufficient for self-defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would you claim self-defense? Because you suspect that your life was in danger, right?
Dude, if there's a dude that you don't know in your house or on your property with a knife, things will end badly for you.
Okay, but the thing is, okay, let's say for
Unless you
instance,
defend yourself or take some
no, fair
measures
enough.
to
No,
isolate
fair enough.
yourself
But there's
from
that
the
fine
threat.
line, like you're saying, the fine line between is the guy armed or is the guy not armed?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the distinction between, say, third degree and self-defense.
Yeah.
Is the fact that how do you prove that your life was in danger? Oh, he was armed. Okay, it's self-defense.
No, I'm simplifying it.
Yeah,
Obviously,
no.
it's not-
I'm also simplifying it, but I'm saying like you're not going to, when the guy pulls into your yard, pull out the law book and go, hang on a second. I just want to check my. Obviously we've just got to be high level. Okay, the oak's in my yard. There's just been a gunfight 40 meters away from my house. There's a strange guy in my yard.
with an AK-47.
Well, no,
Let's
but
just
the
say
thing
with
is,
an
I mean, the
AK-47.
guy, the point is that like in a split second, you've got to make a decision about whether your life is in danger or not.
Yeah, within that split second, you should know whether your life is in danger.
Okay, so I'll go back to a podcast that I was listening to the other day.
Yep.
Okay, and it's funny enough, and I don't know how much time you've got, but this is another conversation, a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But the title of the podcast was "The New Religion of Anti-Racism."
Yeah.
Okay, and they're saying that this anti-racist movement is becoming like a religion, and the premise is that that educated people are viewing their belief in anti-racism like at the level of a religion, like without evidence or whatever, they have this belief in something. Okay. But that's a conversation for another day. But during that conversation, they're talking about the police in America. And I mean, they're getting highly criticized for their activities or their conduct in these kind of situations where there's a suspect and they're asking the suspect to do something, please lie down on the ground, put your hands on your head kind of thing, and the guy's not doing it because he maintains that he hasn't done anything wrong. Okay. And looking from the police's point of view and the fact that they deal with these things on a regular basis is like, how do they determine whether that person is dangerous or not? Okay. And like we talk about the armed, unarmed thing. And during this conversation, it had just happened just before the podcast was released, which is about two or 3 weeks ago, that Sam Harris, who was the host of the podcast, said that he had just seen a video of an incident that had happened. 2 police officers had stopped a car for whatever reason, can't remember what it was, and they had asked the guy to license and registration, that kind of thing. And they suspected that there was something wrong because the guy looked like he was high on something. And they asked him, but there was no indication that the guy was armed or anything like that. And they'd asked him to get out of the vehicle, and he refused, and all this kind of stuff. But he said, you can just see the tension is rising up there. And before you knew it, both those policemen had been shot. And the one guy had been killed, and the other guy was critical in hospital. Okay. But from the video,
That's horrible.
and I suppose they've got the chest cams
Yeah,
and all that kind of stuff, you could not see that the guy was armed or whatever. So now it's just asking the question about at what stage are you allowed to, what's reasonable to assume that you are in danger. Now, I know
That's
that
an extreme case, right? So like,
I was just about to say, I know that that's an extreme case, but in my capacity as a resident in the neighborhood that I live in, there's a gunfight down the road. The next minute, there's a guy in my yard.
with an AK-47.
No.
Let's just say with the AK-47.
Listen, he wasn't jumping over the wall with the AK-47 in his hand. It's impossible for him to do that.
Let's say AK-47 was...
No. What I'm saying is, let's say the guy had a 9mm.
Yeah.
He would not be carrying that 9mm in his hand when he's jumping over the wall.
No.
Because it's impossible to do that.
Let's
Okay.
hope he's carrying it in his...
So let's say he's carrying it at the back, because that's the easiest place
let's
where
just
to
hope
put
it's
it.
in the front and the gun goes off as he's
No,
jumping
yeah,
over the
I
wall.
know. Yes. No, but seriously, I mean, the guy, let's say the guy's got the firearm in the back of his pants.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of a sudden, the guy pulls out the gun and shoots you. Okay.
Yeah, he would.
Half a second before that, did you know that you were in danger? Because the guy doesn't look like he's armed.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
You know you're in danger.
What?
You know that you're
Okay,
in danger.
so-
It's a
okay, so
random
now you're in
dude your
danger.
garden, man.
Right? So you're in danger now. So
Yeah.
you pull out your gun first and you shoot him.
No, you don't need to shoot him. Like, if he doesn't present any threat at that particular time, what you need to do is you need to develop your tactical awareness and your skills of using cover and get yourself in a position where you can check whether this dude is armed.
No, dude, that's not going to happen right then and there while you... I mean, you're going to be surprised because there's someone in your yard you didn't expect.
Yeah.
He's going to be surprised because he didn't expect that you were going to be there.
First of all,
And within a second, something's going to go down,
yes,
right?
like check this out, right? So the most likely scenario is that both of you are going to run away because generally speaking, people don't want to shoot random people
No.
unless...
Just, dude, 5 minutes before that,
Yeah.
they've just dropped 10 shots at the security company.
Yeah, but the security wanted to catch them, right? So there's a reason why the shootout is ensued, right?
Yeah,
So
but
they
now
wanted
remember,
to
this
catch
guy's adrenaline is running. Okay,
Yeah.
he knows that now the neighborhood has been awakened to the fact that shit's going down in their neighborhood, and all of a sudden he's in your garden and I come out of my house.
Assuming you're not armed, right?
Well,
Let's
he
assume-
doesn't know. He doesn't know that I'm armed. I don't know whether he's armed or not. But let's say
you
I
would
am.
generally be.
But let's say because I heard the guns going off,
Yeah.
that I am armed, because I went to my safe and I took out my firearm, because I know that these guys tend to jump over the walls when they get cornered.
So you walk around with a 9mm.
No, but just then at
In
that
your
moment,
house. Yeah.
just then at that
Okay,
moment.
let's assume that. I'll give you that.
Well, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
When the gunshots went off,
Yeah.
the first thing I did is I went to go check that my daughter was okay,
That's
because
good.
she was in the house.
That's good.
And I said, okay, stay here, don't come out. I went straight to my safe. I went and I pulled out my firearm. I put it in the back of my pants
Yeah.
and waited to find out what was going on.
Yeah.
Because got the door
Scary
open
stuff.
here,
Scary stuff.
got the back door open to the house, right?
Yeah.
So, this is what I'm saying. That's the scenario. So now all of a sudden I walk out of my podcast studio into this courtyard over here, and let's say the guy's there.
Yeah.
What now?
Well, look, you're looking at multiple scenarios, right? Let's assume it's one guy. So, first of all, you need to ensure your safety. So, first of all, before you even go for your firearm, you need to get yourself in a position of cover.
But how do you get yourself in the position of a fucking cover? The only thing I can cover myself with is the fucking washing line.
Use whatever you need to use, but get yourself in a safer position because you don't want to.
No, but I mean, the thing is, like, if I turn around, let's say I turn around and I want to come back into my podcast studio, what's to stop the guy following me into my podcast studio?
Nothing.
Right. So I'm not going to turn my back on him, first of all.
Yeah, yeah.
What am I going to do? Walk back
Well,
slowly?
look, because you have your daughter
Moonwalk.
around, like, or in your house, right? You're not gonna run away.
Okay,
You
let's
can't-
take my
you
daughter
can't-
out of the.
you
Let's
can't
take my.
run away.
Yeah, take my daughter out
Yeah.
of the equation now. I walk out of my podcast studio. The guy's there. What do?
You get yourself in a position of cover, so you're like
So I walk back into the podcast studio, but I don't turn my back,
without turning your back. Yeah.
and then I close the door.
No, don't close the door.
So if
Yeah,
I
look at
come, okay, but now I come back into my podcast studio, and the guy
That
follows
person
me into the podcast
He was
studio.
a threat.
Then you know he's a threat.
Okay, but now if I shoot him,
Well, he needs to be armed, right? So like.
but you don't know that, because, like I said, going back to that story about with the police, is that within a split second, that guy had pulled out a gun and shot
Yeah.
both policemen,
Yeah.
not just one, both policemen. So what's to say that the guy doesn't make a sudden move and the next minute he shoots you?
He can.
Exactly.
He can.
So if I'm protecting myself, the guy's in my yard. He's climbed over my palisade fence with
Okay.
electric fencing.
How the-
He's come over the second
Yeah.
level of palisade fencing.
How the law works, right, is that the threat to your life needs to be actual threat. It cannot be perceived threat, right? So, for example's sake, him standing there, right, and you not knowing whether he's armed or not, that's a perceived threat, right? When he pulls a firearm out, that's when he becomes actual threat. Or let's say,
Yeah, but then it's too late.
well, then you need to make a judgment call.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is that if you were to pop the guy,
You don't necessarily need
before.
to pop the guy. You can just shoot him in the leg.
oh, then he can sue you.
That's fine.
Minimum force.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's cool. Anyway, I mean, it's yeah, I mean, that's
You
the
can-
dilemma.
you can
That's the
shoot him.
dilemma that we sit with, is
You
that,
can shoot him through both legs, and then
Yeah.
then there's definitely no chance he's gonna run after you.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, then that could
That's
be
not,
perceived as intent, surely.
no. That's
I
not a deadly,
intentionally shot him in the leg.
twice or
Twice.
3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's not a deadly threat, though. You basically you have a justifiable case that you're trying to incapacitate somebody and prevent them from chasing you or running after you, going inside the house.
Did you display minimum force? What was the minimum force in that scenario?
Can you please leave my yard? Was the minimum force that I exerted.
Nobody.
You said please, so that's okay.
Oh yeah, please.
Nobody's going to look at the fact.
And it's going to be his word against my word.
No, nobody's going to even look at the fact that of who said what during.
No,
the
I know
encounter.
that. I know that.
It's all about the facts. Like, number one, did you shoot the guy? Did his wounds basically show that the bullet went through the front of his thigh, let's say, for example's sake, or front of his leg,
Yeah.
and came out of from the
Yeah.
back? If you were shot at
I-
the back, then you basically lose the whole
Yeah.
case of.
But now the question is, okay, if you could say that this is private property,
Yeah, we don't
And-
have what's like in the US they call it the castle doctrine.
yeah.
We don't have that. Like,
Okay.
so.
But I mean,
So-
often you see signs that say that this is private property and intruders will be prosecuted,
Yeah,
which means that
yeah. You
that
can
the
prosecute
person's
them.
breaking the law
Yeah.
by entering private property.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the guy's in my yard, is he not breaking the law?
Well, he most likely broke several laws, if maybe not a dozen laws, before he entered your property.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So
By
really, the
entering-
guys.
by entering shootout, having a legal firearm, firing at law enforcement officers, stealing a vehicle.
No, but
think-
but the argument would be
Yeah.
that I don't know that guy is one of those guys when he's in
No,
my
you don't.
yard.
You
No,
don't.
exactly.
You
So you can't assume that he's one of
No,
those guys.
no.
But I can assume that he is.
There's a
In
random dude
my-
in your yard.
There's a random dude in my yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what I would do in that situation, and yeah.
Like Lester said, use minimum force, unless the dude is
Yeah,
armed.
but what is classified as minimum force?
Don't shoot them in
Conduct
the
a
head
citizens'
first.
arrest.
That would be your third option.
Please.
What's that?
Say please.
Yeah, I don't know.
Say please and thank you.
I really don't know what the implications would be if you in that moment felt that you were under threat and you pulled out your firearm and you shot the guy.
You most likely go to jail.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's my problem.
Unless he was armed.
That's my problem.
Unless he was armed, right? And unless you managed to beat him to a draw or some sort of. It really goes down to like a split-second decision, and what are the actual facts? Was the threat real or was it perceived? If it's
Yeah, but
perceived threats,
it's always like after the fact. It's like, okay, now let's look at the facts. But I mean, fuck, dude, in that moment, in that split second, right?
yeah.
What's
It also depends. It also depends.
and I
on
think
what
it's like
it
you're not faced with this every day, so it's not like it's you practiced, on how to deal with this situation.
practice on how to deal with the situation.
No, what I'm saying, it's not like something that you do every day, that you know, like any activity that you do, let's say like driving a car, riding a motorcycle, whatever. The more and more you do it, the better and better you get at dealing with situations, abnormal situations, like riding your bike, a guy pulls in front of you. Okay, the first time it happens to you, you shit yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
And hopefully
Now
don't
you've
push
learned
the front brake too hard.
Yeah, and now you've learned a bit. So you think, okay, how could I deal with that situation
Yeah.
better? Okay, I must observe more carefully when going across a red road. But even though a traffic light, even though it's green for me, I mustn't assume that the guy's going to stop. All these things that, as experience, you get better and better at dealing with the situation. How often are you faced with that situation where there's an oak in your flipping yard?
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying, we can talk about the facts and work out what the or like you need like a one-liner that says, "Fuck, if the guy is in your yard, and then you, yes, you have the right to believe that your life is in danger, or no, you don't have the right."
Yeah. So
To go, oh yeah, but if it's this and it's that. My view is okay. First of all, let me just put it out there. I do not want to have to shoot anyone, right? For any reason, even if it's in self-defense. I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
I don't want to be the person that pulls the trigger and takes someone else's life, even if I feel that my life is in danger. Okay, that's number one. But I suppose in the moment, survival, whatever. But the thing is, my view is that, if I've got several layers of security, right, to keep out the criminals,
okay,
and someone intentionally bypasses those levels of security, surely you must be able to say that that person's intention is to get to you or your family.
Not necessary. They could just want your stuff.
But no, but even if it's my stuff,
Yeah.
they have the intention of taking
Yeah.
something that is not theirs, that
For
belongs
sure,
to
for
me.
sure, for sure, yeah.
And if they suspect that I'm in the house, they also know that they have to get past me
Yeah.
to get to my TV.
Look, under general like home invasion type of scenario, right? Like, if it's like 4 or 5 people, right? Like jumping over you or basically breaking in while you're there, like you gotta defend yourself because no amount of psychology will be able to fix what's left behind.
No, look, I do totally agree. But what I'm saying is, I wish there was another way that I could protect myself other than pulling out my firearm
You can.
and defending myself.
You can.
How?
You can burglar-proof everything. You can not leave your house. You can basically make sure that you're sitting on the panic button, but that's not life.
No, yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is without.
You don't want to live like that as well.
No.
right?
I know you don't want to live like that.
You
But what
wanna
I'm
live
saying
with
is,
some elements of risk, and taking into account that you had 2 shootouts in the last 2 weeks, your suburb provides that element of risk.
yeah, it's like, I'm
Don't stress.
like
Where's
all of a
the-
sudden
Maybe
you
it's
feel
him. Maybe trouble follows him.
what follows me.
2 incidents in quick succession.
No, fortunately-
you know what's the whole thing? It's like I think you missed that part. Because of the whole COVID-19 situation, and we had a very harsh lockdown. So what ended up happening is the military and police got deployed in force, and there was a curfew. So the crime rate just plummeted, right? Because it's very difficult to travel from one area to another.
Yeah, we
And-
still had a
yeah.
negative death rate in South Africa.
Yeah.
Even with COVID deaths, we still had a negative death rate.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's not a joke, eh?
Not a joke. Like, so the road accidents went down, the crime went down.
Murder went down.
yeah.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
all
So
that
there's
good
some
stuff.
catching up to be done.
Yeah, so the guys are restarting, and they're obviously trying to catch up. This whole KPIs and the criminal underworld as well. There's targets to be met. Christmas
Yeah.
is just around the corner. Black Friday's kind of happening soon.
Yeah, when is Black Friday? Anyway,
It's
so
9th
yeah,
of
so it's just like all of a sudden you start thinking about these things and start in your mind preparing yourself for what you would do in a situation like that.
Man, hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
Because it literally goes down to a split-second decision, and because number one, it doesn't need to be your life; it can be somebody else's life. So, for example's sake, not even your daughter. It can be you can use lethal force to protect another person if you can clearly see that the life is in danger.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. So, but
Okay, so to wrap this conversation up,
Yeah.
because this could go on for days.
for
So
months,
what is the
for
verdict
months,
on Oscar Pistorius? The world wants to know, because the world doesn't understand the outside of South Africa, don't really understand the psychological situation of being a disabled person with somebody breaking into your house in South Africa.
look, look, regardless whether you're a disabled person, regardless, regardless of
So just
anything,
very
the
short,
facts.
So do you
the
think it was
facts.
justified? Do
No,
you think it was the
no.
right story, or were we missing something?
Well, he got the right verdict. So the
Eventually.
judgment that handed down was the right judgment. It most likely was too lenient in terms of, for a third degree you get a spread between between I think, I don't remember, 2 to 7 years, right? That runs concurrently, right? So he could be out in a half. So he got the minimum. I think initially got like 2 years. Then they basically took him back and retrialed him in the face of new evidence. And then he got 7, I think.
Yeah.
Did he get 7 or 14?
I think it was 15, but because I mean, and I think this was the issue. The issue was the minimum sentence was 15 years, but I think he only got 8.
Yes.
But he had already served
Yeah.
X amount,
Yeah.
and so I think in the end it like turns out to be 5 years or something that he will be.
So how it works with within the scope of South African legal system is that they would basically start from the heaviest charge. So for example, say his heaviest charge was second degree murder, right?
Yeah.
And the state would have to prove it. The state failed to prove second degree, and it's 100%.
And so it goes down.
And then
All right, so you guys are basically happy with the outcome. You think it's the right outcome?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's
I started a whole new conversation here.
No, look, I mean, for a person I mean, he had firearms. Okay, so it's not like he's inexperienced with firearms. I mean, the fact that he
is
dropped 4 shots through a closed door
yeah.
without knowing what was on the other side tells me that he wasn't just doing it because, in a bathroom that was on the second level.
Second floor, yeah.
The second floor.
Yeah.
How did they get in there? Through the window that
Dude.
hardly anyone can fit through.
Dude, it's like,
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you? It's like, in a certain sense, that's water under the bridge. The fact remains is that he acted against perceived threats, which resulted in somebody's death. So it's a third degree murder, like by the book.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether there was intent in terms of like.
Well, at least we can say it wasn't self-defense.
No, it wasn't. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm not sure if there was intent. The state
I have
failed.
started something here.
The
And
state
this is
failed.
exactly the conversations that are happening around the world because
Yeah.
people just don't know the whole story.
No, the
And he's
state
going to come out
failed.
of prison in a few years' time, and there's going to be a movie made, and he'll be a millionaire again.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Like,
Haven't they made a movie already?
No. I think there is a movie.
Yeah, there is a movie.
Isn't it called Blade Runner or something?
No. Blade Runner was
No, like not Blade Runner, but like it was something Blade Runner or something.
yeah. Let's Google this
Yeah.
quickly, and then we're going to end it off there because otherwise we're going to be here for. We'll episode 27 will merge
Yeah.
into episode 28.
Yeah.
Because we'll still be here next Saturday. Let's hope that Leicester's internet keeps
Leicester,
up.
like with his case, right? His legal team was really good, and the state's the prosecution team was really good as well. So both teams tried their best.
It was definitely entertaining.
No, I think it was fair. So you got the best specialist on the prosecution team lining up against some of the best, criminal law attorneys.
But there's more to it than that. All right, this is the first time South African legal system has been in
Blade Runner
international media in that level of detail.
Yeah.
And they had to get this right. They had to show the world that they had an effective. There was not an unruly state. It had to be done by the book. That through following procedures in the right legal system, so that the rest of the world can be reassured that South Africa can look after itself. This is now a political, economic thing.
No, that's a really good point. Yeah.
From one little incident. Not little. Let's not belittle it. It was a tragic event.
It's really tragic, and it's really unfortunate because Yeah, I didn't have to go down that way. But like, I think the guy was truly scared quite easily. I think it may be because of his disability, but like, it wasn't the first time he discharged the firearm, which could have resulted in somebody's getting hurt or killed.
Mm.
I mean, can you imagine? You remember Rosebank, right? Melrose, right?
Yeah.
He let off a round from a 9mm in a packed restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he loved his firearms, but was a bit overconfident with them, and what's the word? Reckless with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. I think it could have been avoided. I think the issue was, if the Central Firearms Registry didn't issue them with a license, right? It could have at least slowed down. I mean, he could have got an illegal firearm, but he definitely wouldn't be brandishing or carrying it with him or trying to use it.
Yeah, but didn't he have more than one firearm?
Yeah,
He did.
But
And
after
he
that
had more than the allowed allocation of ammunition.
Yeah. But like, if the Central Firearm Registry did their job, they should have confiscated his firearm license after the first incident.
Yeah.
That was the failure of the system in a way. And if the system worked, right, this most likely wouldn't have happened.
And that's what makes this intriguing, and we'll be talking about it for years until Hollywood comes knocking.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't do,
Yes.
I mean, obviously I've missed most of this episode, but have we talked about the national days?
Yeah, we
Yes,
have.
Tomorrow
We
is
did.
National Vodka Day.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, that one I missed. We were, what was it? Today's Virus Appreciation Day.
Really?
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
National Boyfriend Day. Is there a link?
I don't know.
And you
Whatever.
said he's not celebrating.
I'm not celebrating National Boyfriend Day.
Well, you know, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this up on that note. On that
Cheers.
bombshell.
Bye. Oh, wait.
Music?
Where is the music? There we go.
Okay. Lester, we'll catch you next weekend.
Oh, hopefully.
I'm sure it'll be as action-packed as it was this
We
week.
had some interesting conversations.
Yeah, we did. It was a good one. Good one. Cool.
2 hours.
Catch
All
you
right.
later.
I look forward to
Bye.
IT issues next week.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Cheers.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Latest.
Yeah, we done. I've stopped the streaming. So where did you land up now? Are you on your machine? Are you off your machine? What's going on
He's
now?
standing next to the neighbor's wife.
No, it's on my cell phone, my mobile phone. And I think there's a mixture of challenges here. One is
Virgin.
my internet connection, but more specifically, the upload part of the internet connection. Download seems fine. Latency seems fine. There's a lot of jitter on the line.